Hey guys, this is undercoverdudes all the way from Down Under with the top 5 free-to-play first-person shooters of 2015. Coming in at number 5 is Counter-Strike Nexon Zombies, a free-to-play version of Counter-Strike 1.6, however, with some extremely significant changes. Gameplay-wise, it is identical to that of the original, the graphics being identical as well, thus easy to run. However, there are many more weapons due to the element of in-game cash, i.e. you put your own money into the game and you can go and get a bonus. And this is generally positive for Counter-Strike Nexon Zombies since the default guns, which you get for a permanent duration, can easily compete with the better weapons. The original maps and modes are all present though, buying CSGO would be much better to go and play these exclusively. However, the real joy comes from the Zombies modes. They are relatively unique and have interesting goals, and are really not seen in any other first-person shooter games. I recently hated on this game a little bit, and I have to say after a really decent playthrough, I feel like it definitely deserves its place. Overall, it's not really great in any section, but it's absolutely fantastic if it's your first outing into Counter-Strike, along if you have a really bad computer and you don't have enough money to go and play games like Counter-Strike Global Offensive anyway. Coming in at number 4 is Quake Live. Now this iconic series comes to Steam and in my opinion is the best Quake edition yet. It has absolutely beautiful graphics with the gameplay being absolutely identical to the previous versions. It takes the perfection of Quake and ramps it up to 11 with all the original maps being ported over along with servers in nearly every region, which is something that Nexon Zombies does not have and a lot of free-to-play first-person shooters do not have. Having global server support so you can get a decent ping in all your games is so crucial. There is extensive clan war support as well, with deep roots in the community and esports. This is by far the most unique shooter on this list. No game has mechanics and gameplay like Quake. It's on its own, beside from Unreal Tournament, which doesn't have a free-to-play alternative. As such, this game has gone and stood the test of time. It's an up-to-date, competitive shooter that is built upon an absolutely classic series, and I have to say, I really do enjoy this. Coming in at number 3 is Soldier Front 2. Now, each year, military first-person shooters are released which are basically the same. Last year, it was Warface, which is now dead by the way, it's overrun by hackers. And this year, it is Soldier Front 2. However, Soldier Front 2 really perfects this overdone genre in many different ways. It's like a sub-genre of a genre. The graphics are not to die for, they look relatively average in comparison to other games, but it blitzes most of the other military first-person shooters out there by a long shot. The gameplay is solid, there's nothing new to it at all. The same character movement we've got used to, the same weapon use. It's just tried and true ideas done really well. The maps are simplistic as well, offering a casual environment, but it still gives you the tools to really hammer down on those noobs by just quick scoping and just going to town on them. The paid guns are not too overpowered, and the offering of multiple sets so you can go and swap classes on the fly is a nice touch. This is the military shooter to go and play this year, and it doesn't bring anything really new to the table, but whatever it does go and bring to the table that it stole from other games, it does it really well, and I can't go and say that to a lot of other military first-person shooters out there. It just does it in a way that's really enjoyable. You can go and play it with your friends, you can go and play it solo, you can just go and hop in for a game, and it does it really well. Coming in at number 2 is Team Fortress 2. Now TF2 has been the king of Steam for quite a long time, and few people could go and argue against that. It has amazing graphics for a game that's nearly half a decade old, more than half a decade old should I go and say, coupled with iconic gameplay that no other first-person shooter can go and touch, along with its ridiculously well-designed maps and the community that is absolutely obsessed with hats and thus providing a really strong in-game economy. Even though so many people know about this game, I can't go and leave it out of this list because it's such a fantastic game and should be played by all. Its experience cannot be replicated. I've dropped at least 200 hours into it, and every time I go into a game or two for, I still have a lot of fun. Even though everyone suggests this game as a free-to-play first-person shooter to go and definitely have in your Steam library, it's still one of the easiest to go and pick up and hardest to put down. You can play it casually, you can play it competitively, it's always addicting and fun, and it has the absolutely fantastic class system that really no other game can go and replicate. Until a number 1 spot, and that is Dirty Bomb. Now, I've been hyping this game for quite a long time, and for good reason. Dirty Bomb is a completely new first-person shooter experience, still in very exclusive closed beta. Set in the near future, it has a slight sci-fi edge mixed with a really solid base of a really good military shooter, but from there it just goes which way and everywhere in comparison to everything else we've gone and seen. Aside from Team Fortress 2, in the fact that Dirty Bomb has a class system that is relatively similar. Each character has their pros and cons, each character has a counter, and thus there's people that can go and work really good with, people that don't go and work so good with, and this really translates into the game being about objectives, rather than just mindless killing that you see in Call of Duty, though killing your enemies is still really fun in this game. It's less based on pure mechanical skill, those flick trick shots and all that, but working together to complete a common goal. Very different to any other first-person shooter out there, where it's more about you solo carrying your team. You can't solo carry in this type of game, you've got to go and work together. The maps in this game are extremely detailed, and they're built around the objective. One example is where you're trying to go and escort this type of mech through the town, and obviously the enemies have the advantage of sniper spots and nice flanking routes and all that. But after you go and get this mech to the objective, the next section of the map is completely different. Instead of escorting, you actually go in and trying to plant a bomb and go and break into another section of the map. And that is really good that you've got two different type of sub-games in one really great match. I almost forgot to go and mention the graphics, which are absolutely amazing. If you've got a good enough computer and you ramp this up to max, you will see the detail that's put into the maps, put into the guns, put into the overall graphics engine. It is astounding. Now, it isn't as optimized as it could be at this time as recording this video, so if you have a lower computer, if your specs aren't that good, you will see a bit of lag, but I'm sure they're going to go and optimize it in the future, and this game is destined to become one of the best free-to-play first-person shooters, and that's why it's number 1 on my list. Hopefully you guys went and enjoyed this top 5. If you did, make sure to go and give it a like rating. But other than that, it's Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under, out.